Hello, everybody. A little late in the day, but I haven't felt good today. Not going to be cooking today. Sorry, but some of y'all might be glad. I don't know. Thought I'd take you outside, show you around a little bit. This is where some of my next project's going to start. Um, we're working on our steps right now. That would be my husband. They look a little treacherous. Let me see here. See? They kind of treacherous looking. So far, so good. Sorry, I had to get away. Um, our steps are in disrepair. Starting to cloud up, so I thought I'd take you outside and show you a little bit. As you can see, now I've never used a selfie stick, so I don't know. Most people does this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Anyway, here's our steps. He's working on them. They're rotting. Let me see if I can show them to you without falling, which I just about did. Okay, here's the construction part of it. I don't see how I can turn this thing around. Oh, I bet I know how I can do it. Okay, I'm gonna turn it away from me. Maybe. No, I'm not. It don't work that way with this thing. I guess I'm gonna have to break down to get some equipment. Anyway, this over here is going to be a project for this summer. Okay, this is wisteria vine. It's got long pods of purple flowers that grow on it. Now, what I actually wanted was kind of like a cattle panels across here to make an arch so that I could grow my wisteria from, see where it starts, all that, grow it across here to the porch, and then let it drape down. Well, my husband, he used to build houseboats, and his nickname is Chigger. So when he was building houseboats, and his co-workers and employees and stuff would see him make something, they always called it, when they'd see it, they'd say, well, that was chigger rigging something up. And you know they were saying about chigger rigging. Anyway, I've got some hostas. Here's hostas. Here's hostas. Here's hostas. Here's hostas. Back there is a butterfly bush. Here's a little patch of strawberries that I threw out here, and I guess they're going to survive. This here is beautiful. It don't look so beautiful right now, but it is a clematis, and it's got little delicate purple flowers on it, and it grows all the way up there. All of this is going to have to be redone. Now, I'm thinking cattle panels is going to be the best. I'm going to have to get some more mulch in here. I'm going to have to do some repairing to the underpinning back there. Here's my water tank for when it gets dry. This was my bird feeder pole, and my birds did not like my bird feeder pole. They like it hung up on the porch, so we hung them up on the porch. And you can see my wind chimes. I hope I'm getting all this, because I can't see what I'm getting. I have a greenhouse over here. Of course, old Chigger has been at it again on it. But he does make things work around here. And I am thankful for him, even though I talk about him a lot. If you didn't talk about him, you wouldn't think about him, and you wouldn't love him. Okay, he likes to use tape and glue. This is normally all grown up with grass, and it probably will be by the time spring gets here. But I got in here last year and repaired most of this. Now the doggies love to come in here and inspect, as you can see. And I've still got some straw left from last year. Come on, girls. Come on, girls. That's Maggie. That's my little Maggie. She was sick when she was born, and I'll tell you more. I may share a video. I have to see if it's X-rated. Come on, Maggie. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go get a treat. She kind of grew up in my bosom. Her mother was a tomboy that did not like being a mommy. Here's another butterfly bush. And here is a lilac tree. Looks like it's coming right out of it. Hope you can see the little buds forming on it. Back here, I think that is some daylilies. And I've got some hostas spread out in here. I'm gonna have to get to work out here. Boy, I wish my health would improve enough to where I could get all this done. As you can see, we have a pool. I would never recommend a pool. Maybe if you had 14 youngins, or you could charge intermission, or, you know, a fee for them to come in. I might recommend a pool then. A little out of breath. Bear with me, I'm sorry. I have used my inhalers, so it's not that. Now, this is an old-fashioned lilac tree. Actually, this one's got a story. This was my grandmother's. Okay, and whenever FedEx man's here. Whenever it flooded in 1977, and the flood went back down at our house when I was a child. Well, I wasn't too much of a child. I was 14. There was a little bit of this tree left. And Mommy and Daddy lived there for years after that. Well, when I got married and got a home, my first home, Mommy dug me up a sprout, okay? And it's probably that big one down in there, okay? And you can see this lilac tree is getting its little buds on it too. So spring is close. And so then me and my husband moved 3 times, and this little tree came with me every time. Okay? Then me and my husband got divorced. And long story short, he got possession of the tree. Well, I wasn't having that. So, caught him gone one day and went up there and stole the tree. It was my tree. And so I took it with me to somebody's house that I knew would keep up with it. And kept it there until I got settled in. Well, it was a long time before I became settled in again. I really don't know. Yes, I do know. When I graduated nursing school and I moved into a home in Prestonsburg, I went and got my little tree. And So I brought my little tree with me from Prestonsburg to here. And it's not such a little tree no more, but it grows and it puts off lilac blooms. And here I've got some strawberries that are drowning. So I'm gonna turn them over. This is my strawberry bed. My husband made that for me because it's getting hard for me to bend over. And then here's my raised bed with strawberries in it. Some more strawberries. I make strawberry jam, so that's why I got so many strawberries. Here is my garlic, which I don't know how this bad weather will treat my garlic. But as you can see, most of it's still green. Here's more strawberries. And actually, they look pretty healthy for what they've gone through. Now, over here, this don't look like nothing, but it's actually an asparagus bed. Hopefully. And then here's a few more strawberries. Now, I raised sweet potatoes in this last year, and I got enough sweet potatoes to do us through, I would say, November, out of that little box right there. And then this here, I had cucumbers and carrots and peppers here, I think. Now, out beyond there, as you can see, my husband has started tilling up some land. Now, that is so that it will be close to the edge of this fence. And there's a reason behind that. Last year, when the drought hit, I could water all of this. And plus, I've got more beds to go out here. I really wished it looked prettier, but it is what it is, and it grows stuff, and that's all that matters. On out there, you'll see a peach tree, another peach tree, and I got a ton of peaches last year. Way out there, you'll see another peach tree. I'll take y'all out through there. And then over there is a crabapple tree. Now, there's an apple tree over that way. Then down there's my little she shed. Out there's what we call the barn. Out there's the chicken condominium. And the chicken condominium is a video all itself. And then there's a bamboo patch. That green stuff out there. Now, I do sell that on eBay. And then here is my spruce tree. It got infested with bagworms. Don't know if any of you, here's one. They're hard for me to reach. Right there's a bagworm. Okay? I did not ever see a bagworm till I come to this area. And they will decimate a tree. Now, mine should be dead had I not come out here daily and picked those bagworms off this tree. I bought this tree. It was 2 foot tall. Here's one of those bagworms. See, and the little worm has tried to come out of it, but it's died. I hope the frost got it. I picked the bagworms off of it. Here's another one. And tried to take care of it the best I could. Bought all kinds of products. And I forget the name of the stuff that I got. It's pretty common. I watch Garden Answer a lot. And of course, Haas Tools. They have a lot of things on there to help you with insects and problems with things a growing. But anyway, I had this with Christmas lights on it. And I do believe a mouse, a raccoon, or something other chewed my cord in two this year, so I couldn't light it up. But I always wanted a spruce tree. And like I said, it was 2 foot tall, so it was about this tall. And it's grown all that much. I wish I could show you. Let's see if I can work this doofenflolly here thing a little bit. Well, I'm not very good at this, like I said. It's way taller than me. There, maybe that'll help. But anyway, that's my spruce tree. It's one of my pride and joys. Then down here, we used to have a garden down here. I grew potatoes down here and can't get water out to these places. So that's the deal with my husband making me a small garden right along the fence there so I can run irrigation out there. I grew gourds through here. Some of these vines and things you see on here is what I haven't picked off. You know, it's hard to keep a place this size clean. But back to those old bagworms. Now let me just show you something up here. And they may be gone right now. Let me go up under here. Well, there went my glasses. Can you see way up there along the soffit of the house? There's 4 bagworms up there. And, phew, I'm out of breath. And in the summer, they get on there, 20 or 30 of them. But anyway, could be something to do with this vine because I never seen any until this vine. If you all have any suggestions about this vine, and it does have seeds on it that you can grow. I've grown some plants from it. If anybody would like some seeds, I can put them on eBay or I can send them to you. Put them in my pocket right there. Try to grow me some more vines. Now, let's go out here. Back out to the greenhouse. I should have showed you this a while ago. This is another lilac tree that I started off of, that little lilac tree down there, and it still has its little bird nest in it. See it there? And then this is our back door. This right here looks like a weed, a dead weed, is a clematis. And it is absolutely the most glorious thing you will ever lay your eyes on, well, in my opinion, in your life. I got that at Kroger about 15 years ago. Used it as a centerpiece because my mommy and my stepfather was coming down for maybe Easter or something, I don't know. And I used it as a centerpiece, and then I thought, well, I'll plant that outside and see how it does. And then over here is some daffodils. They're not your normal daffodils, which I want some normal daffodils. Here's my problem. My husband, boy, I got stories to tell you about gardening with him. He loves Roundup. And one day I come home and he had my corn and my taters and everything planted out there. And he said, honey, I have the best idea. I had the best idea. I said, what have you done? Because, see, I was a travel nurse. I'd go away and work a week to 9 days and come home and stay a week to 9 days. And he said, well, you know how hoeing is so hard on you. Yeah, he said, well, I've come up with a plan. He said, I went and took Roundup and I sprayed it between all the rows of your corn and your taters, and that'll keep the weeds down, and you won't have to weed in them rows no more. I'm like, you did what? He told me again. I said, well, honey, I appreciate your effort, but you've just killed my garden. Now go back down to the Amish and buy me some more corn seed and some more tater sets. Tater, plant, the seed taters, before they sell out of them all. Well, what do you want more for? Because we're going to have to till that up and replant it. Well, it still looks good, he said. I said, when did you spray it? Yesterday. Well, let's give it 2 days. Go get diesel fuel for the tractor. And by the time you get the diesel fuel and all my stuff gathered up, it'll be dead. It was dead. So we had to start all over. And there's a funny story too about him being a gardener and how we met. And I'll tell you that one of these days too. I'm heading back up on my porch. It's dangerous. Let me see. You all call 911 if I go screaming. Yippee! I made it. Okay, so here's my nasty porch. I got wind chimes and bird feeders and tools and a grill, and we're working on getting this joint situated here for the summer. Got a couch over here if I ever get cleaned off. I've slept out here. Well, not slept. Took a nap out here a time or two. I had a niece come down. She did sleep out here. That's my husband's inverter. He couldn't live without that thing. Anybody want to buy it? It's on Marketplace. I have a refrigerator out here. Mostly for drinks and things I find on sale. I'm overstocked on. This is my cabinet for my gardening. And gardening is everywhere. Gardening is my favorite thing to do. And I hope and pray to God, please, pray to God for me, that he don't allow me to get any more sick to where I can't do my gardening. That is my therapy. In here is kind of like my gardening room. This is a mud room. In the winter, it's mud room. In the summer, it's gardening room. And I'm slowly but surely cleaning it out. See if I can show it to you here. Let me decrease this stick a little bit. Some of my canned foods. And I didn't can the smoker shelly, of course. That's just some of them. There's a funny story about my canned foods, too. If you all will remind me about these funny stories, I'll tell you on the days I'm not going to be cooking. This is a miracle right here. Okay. House. Remember that name, House. It's made in USA. It's www.housetools.com. It's out of Georgia, I do believe. This is a germination mat. It also has a temperature controller, which I have. And House, if you're watching this, my temperature controller never did work right. It could be operator problems too. I don't think so, but I tried it for 2 or 3 years and it just never did temperature control. I have an extra freezer out here for things I find on sale, things I freeze, corn, green. I don't freeze many green beans. I like canned green beans. And I'm gonna open this up. It's not too bad a shape. I keep my seeds in there too. This is a Park Seed germination kit. And back here is some Jiffy seed starter trays. And then most of this is stuff for the garden. I will be needing these. Let me get one out. They're kind of dirty. But these two are House made in USA. Are the best little trays I've ever used, and they have the drain catcher on them. So I'll fill them up with dirt, start my seeds, put them on this mat. I'll hang my grow light up there. I also have, when I was raising bigger gardens, I have these. Oh, man, nobody. And they're from House. And they are actually wonderful too. Made in USA. Good, stout, wonderful products. You can't go wrong with House. I bought 2 sprayers from him. You know, those kind that you pump up, you know, and you spray Roundup with them. I don't spray Roundup with them, but I was spraying something with them. I don't remember what. But anyway, my husband, I'm going to let him start doing some of these videos. He's real interested in them. Tell me, would you like to start seeing the chairman in some of these? My husband, he borrowed my sprayer, which I don't ever allow that because he puts Roundup in them. And then it's the residue in them. You can't mix fertilizer and stuff in them. Or even, you know, before I had a mister for my trays in there, I would use my small sprayer to put water in them. And that, you know, that way you can gently water your seedlings, okay? He would borrow my sprayers. Well, you can't get all that Roundup out of those sprayers. You just can't do it. So I don't allow him to do that. I would rather buy him a sprayer. So I had 2. I had a big one and I had a little one. And one day I went to use my little one and it wouldn't spray. And I don't know why this, to me, it appears like I'm not looking at you in this camera. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Like I said, I'm new at this. I don't know. So my sprayer wouldn't work. First thing I did, Chig, have you had a hold of my sprayer? No, no, no. So I got it and I opened it up and I smelled of it. It did not smell like water in it. I took it in there to him and I said, did you use this for something? Well, yeah, I did. I need to spray the weeds along the fence line, but I washed it out good. I said, well, I can still smell it in it and it won't work now. And so I thought, well, he's tore up like he does everything else of mine. So I called Hoss Tools, and I was going to add, I'd only had it like 2 months, and their guarantee, they have a wonderful guarantee, and I was going to tell them it's tore up. Well, you know who answered the phone? What's his name? Greg. I forget his last name. Greg from Hoss Tools. He's the owner. He answered the phone himself. And I told him about my chigger. And he told me, keep chigger away from that. But he said, take the ring out, the seal out. And I forget what he told me to do to it. Seems like he told me to take a little cooking oil or something and rub it on that and put it back in there and see if it wouldn't work. By golly, it did. He said that sometimes those harsh chemicals will kind of not disintegrate, but they will kind of weaken the material a little bit, and then your seal doesn't catch good. But that's what I did, but I could not believe that he answered the phone. And then one time, I had bought an irrigation system, and to me, it was expensive. It was the big one they had. Seems like it was $300 or something like that. That's back when $300 was $300. $300 today is like $30. But anyway, I had bought that from him, and it came in, and I looked at it, and oh, it was complicated looking. So I bought it early, and I left it sitting in there. And I have a daughter that's another story. But she ran into a money emergency. So I thought, now, I'm not picking a booger, y'all. I have a little sore right there. I get them in the winter, and I haven't gotten them but since I got this psoriatic arthritis, so I think it has something to do with that. Anyway, she needed some money, and I needed to come up with some money kind of fast. So I called Hoss again, and he didn't answer this time. Some sweet lady answered. Oh, and his wife is so sweet too. And they have videos to show you how to do things. But she answered, and I explained to her I'd had it for 6 weeks, and I hadn't put anything together, hadn't took it out of the box. I just opened the box and looked at it, and I was wondering if I could get a refund on it, because my daughter needed the money worse. They said, sure. And if I'm not mistaken, they sent me a label to send it back to them. And I thought, what customer service is that? Anyway, Hoss is my hero. So, you'll hear me talk a lot about Hoss. I like old Hoss. I guess I better end this. I think my husband's wanting a pulled pork sandwich. And he's done give me directions on how to fix it. I told him that he needed to fix it himself and show you all how to fix it. But I'm going to end this. You've got a little look at the outside and some of the projects that we'll be working on. And Sorry about no cooking video today, but we got so much pulled pork, we got to eat some of that. Ain't no use me cooking something else while we've got so much pulled pork. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I'll see you later or tomorrow. I want to try to get on a kind of a schedule, like say 12 o'clock noon, 10 o'clock, some kind of schedule to where you all know when to expect my videos if you're enjoying them. Please, 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 please subscribe. I need subscribers desperately, and I need people to watch the videos. I'm pretty boring, I know, but you know, just watch my videos, share them, and subscribe until I get to the point that YouTube makes me one of theirs, whatever that means. And I might come back on later. You know, this show is called Brenda's Flavors and Finds, or Finds and Flavors. And the flavors, of course, is the foods. The finds, it may be little things I find out in the woods. It could be little things I make. It could be, it was mostly designated, the finds, as to thrift store, eBay, household finds that I sell on eBay. And if you want to take a look at my eBay store, it's, I think it's called Country Thrifting Nurse. That's the store. And you can also get there by putting in Jabez Nurse. Jabez, Jabez, Nurse, Nurse, one word. And if you can't find it, let me know. I know there's a way to link, you know how they link stuff in the bottom, like if they're selling something or anything. Right now, I'm in the process of listing all, well, not all, yeah, most, of my nursing scrubs and supplies. So if any of your nurses out there need scrubs, supplies, a few things have already sold, but I've only been listing them for about a month. So I have 35 years worth of nursing clothes. And I was a travel nurse, and like when I worked at Hazard, I had to wear gray pants and any kind of top. When I worked at the nursing home, it was black. When I worked at Somerset Hospital, it was blue. When I worked in Tulsa, it was maroon with my name monogrammed on it. When I worked at Monticello, it was white. When I worked in San Antonio, I believe it was blue. When I worked in Maine, I think it was blue. It was just all different colors. So, and all different sizes. I've been everything from a small and a medium to I think the biggest shirt I've sewed is a 4 extra large, which that's also something I'm trying to do, is lose weight. I've recently lost 75 pounds, which is pretty good, but I still need to lose some more. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for putting up with me. Please, please help me get the word out about this YouTube channel, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I will do more if you want them, and I am open to suggestions. Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful day. It's beautiful out today. Well, now it's cloudy, but it's still beautiful. It ain't snowing or raining or storming or any of them things. So y'all have a great day. Thank you.